Hi guys, so it's the day before my surgery. Woohoo! Today is Thursday, my surgery is tomorrow. So I've woken up today feeling quite nervous, understandably, but my ear pain has actually been, touch wood, absolutely fine this morning, and I haven't had any kind of like really bad stabbing pains or anything, and I haven't even had to take paracetamol, which is really good, but my tinnitus is absolutely raging. It's just really loud, and I feel like little Tilly tumour in there is knowing that it's coming to the end of its days, so it knows that it's going to be scooped out tomorrow, so it's fighting with vengeance. But it's really quite loud in there. I said yesterday as well on my vlog that I felt like I was coming down with a cold. Definitely coming down with a cold, so my throat is just like really scratchy. I don't think it's anything to do with the cholesteatoma or anything. I think I've just obviously picked something up, so bear with me. I do have water which I can sip on. Last night my husband and I decided to go out for some food. I had a bit of a weird day yesterday. I was quite emotional. I was really positive in the morning, and then in the afternoon I was just like really emotional. I wasn't crying or anything like that, but I felt quite like grouchy and really sensitive and just kind of like a bit touchy, I don't know. So when my husband got home, he was just like, right, come on, let's just go out for some food. So we went to Zzz's, and that was really nice, but I was just absolutely exhausted, was just kind of like sat there a bit zoned out, which made me quite sad because I was looking forward to having a nice evening with my husband, but that's what it does to you. So yeah, so basically I wanted to kind of share a little bit about my tinnitus. I know that there are a lot of people with cholesteatoma that suffer with tinnitus as one of the main symptoms. Tinnitus for me has been a huge factor in my deterioration of my mental health, and I just really wanted to talk about that. So tinnitus, I think, has been the main cause of my mental health deterioration during the period of my kind of journey with this whole ear situation. It doesn't cause any pain. It's just basically a noise that's always there in your ear, and the doctors basically think that it's hopefully there because the little tumour is pressing on this nerve, which is causing a signal, which sending signals to my brain, which makes me think that I'm hearing a noise all the time. But there are many different kind of like reasons why we have tinnitus. I'm not an expert. I don't know much about it, but that's just all I've been told by my doctor. I had it about 3 years ago when the very first time, as I was saying in my first vlog, when I flew to Kenya, and I came back and I had these awful ear infections, and as well as the hearing loss and the ear infections, I also had this tinnitus that started, and it kind of started as I think it's called pulsating tinnitus, where you can basically hear your heartbeat in your ear all the time. So obviously, as you can imagine, this is especially difficult when you're trying to sleep, and I know that when I first started I found it quite difficult because when you're not used to having that, you've lost your hearing, and then you've also part of your hearing, and then you've lost also like that space to think. It's like you're not, I know this sounds really weird, but it's like you're not on your own in your head. It's like this constant like white noise, and I have found that really difficult. So yeah, I go through phases where it can be really raging for like days on end, and I kind of like feel like I can't get out of my own head, and it's just there, and it's like a little like demon like on my shoulder, like nipping away, and it's really frustrating. And then other times I don't think that it necessarily ever goes away. I think that it just kind of like my mind I just get used to it, or I'm quite like busy with other things, so I'm distracted from it. The only way I guess I can describe it with my mental health is that it kind of feels like, it's quite raw really, but it kind of feels, if you let go to it and just kind of like sit and listen to it, it almost feels for me like I'm being like sucked into like a dark hole. And it's just kind of like there, and you're just like slowly just kind of coming away from yourself. I think also at night it's particularly difficult, and I know in the beginning, again, I go through phases of it, but I found myself kind of like staring into space for like hours and just kind of lying there and listening to my heartbeat. I feel quite kind of like angry about it, and I can feel kind of like sick because I'm like worrying about whether I'm gonna have this for like the rest of my life, because every doctor that I've been to see, they've just been like, there isn't anything that we can do to help with tinnitus. It's one of those things that it doesn't kind of like have a cure. You can't medicate it or anything. You just kind of have to crack on with it really. My doctor has recommended that I go to a tinnitus support group. I mean, this was a little while ago, but I haven't. I don't really know why, but I guess there's just a lot going on at the moment that's quite heavy on kind of like my mental health, and it probably would have helped me actually, but I just guess I never got around to doing it. But after my surgery, if I still have the tinnitus, then it's definitely something that I'm going to have to do, because I don't really feel like I can carry on coping with it the way that it is at the moment. After my surgery got cancelled, I actually just went downhill so badly quite quickly with my mental health. So I guess mental health is something that everybody battles with at one point or another in their lives, and I've definitely had my demons, and I still do have my demons kind of outside of this whole illness scenario. Have never quite kind of accepted myself for who I am. I've always tried to kind of like be more and try to be enough. I don't even know what that means, but it's just always something that I've held quite high standards of myself, and it's something that's affected both my personal life, my work life. Sorry, let's have a drink. And it's resulted in a lot of relationships being broken down, and I push people away if I think that, I guess it's just down to insecurity. If I have any feeling that I'm not doing right by somebody, I kind of tend to push them away, and it becomes quite difficult for me to accept that people can love me for who I am unconditionally. So that's something that I've really struggled with, and I guess with this cholesteatoma, it's been quite hard because I've always been, look at my voice shaking, God, I've always been the life and soul of the party, and I've always strived to be the best version of myself that I can be for others around me, and also to be like a role model for my team at work, and I just kind of want to have a really successful career and all of those lovely things. But when I was diagnosed with this cholesteatoma, well, even before then, like 3 years before, I guess I found it really hard because it meant that the old Dani really struggled to shine through, because I was just so exhausted all the time. And, you know, even just simple things like talking. So I'm a massive talker, and, you know, it really kind of like stumps my speech. And I don't know whether it's the exhaustion or whether it's like the like tumour leaning on, you know, pressing on my nerve, I don't know, but the whole eyesight thing, and then the slurred speech, and my hearing has really made a dent in my confidence, and kind of my ability to communicate with people. And when I was at uni, I used to suffer with really severe panic attacks from, it was anxiety attacks, where basically I couldn't breathe, and I felt like I could never get a deep breath, so my lungs could never feel full. So it was like I was constantly trying to take in a deep breath, and it's bloody horrible. Like it literally feels like you're suffocating, and it feels like someone sat on your chest, and you've got to kind of like open out your chest and just remember that you can breathe. And I used to remember like reminding myself that it's okay, like I'm not going to die, it's fine. And when I had my diagnosis, I started to have this breathing thing that came back, and I thought that it was my asthma coming back, but actually after talking to the doctor, you know, he said, I think it's, you don't need an inhaler, you just need some help with your mental health. So I'd visited him quite a few times, and he, you know, said, Dani, I think that you know, I really think that you should consider just trying to take something to help with your well-being and with your mental health. And I really didn't want to. I was just like, I don't really feel, I guess it's that thing where I felt like I was failing. Like if I couldn't fight this on my own, then I'm failing. And that's been something that I've really struggled with, is not being able to like fight it on my own, not being able to control who I am, and like seeing like different sides of myself that I've never really seen before was quite difficult, and kind of seeing myself deteriorate into someone that to someone that I didn't really recognise, you know, staring into space on my days off from work, and, you know, not being the one to crack all the jokes, because normally I'm the joker, and you know, it's really quite a difficult version of myself to get to know. But, you know, I'm getting there, and I am definitely getting better, but it has been quite a journey. So I went through this period of being really quite emotional and really like dark, just kind of like not being able to see the positive side of anything, and kind of being really negative about myself, and kind of doubting everyone around me in the way that I was pushing people away, because I believed that they were just kind of hating on me, kind of thing. And it's all just to do with the self-confidence, I know that, but I kind of had one day where I sat at home, and I was like, enough is enough, I need to call the doctor and, you know, explain just how bad this is, and kind of make a move in the right direction. So he put me on something called propranolol. I have it here. So this here. So propranolol. I've been saying it wrong. Oh, so funny. So propranolol, not propranolol. It's basically a something called a beta blocker. So I think it helps with your adrenaline. It stops your adrenaline, I think, or something like that. Feeling quite cloudy today, so I can't really think of what it does, but when I started taking them, oh my goodness, it was actually amazing. Like, I kind of was really calm. I had more clarity to think about different things at work, and I was just a lot calmer in general. And I actually, it was so nice because I felt like I could connect with who I was again, which was really, really good. So I was taking those for about 3 or 4 weeks, and then I took another turn for the worst. I can't really remember what happened. It all rolls into one, but I think, I don't know what happened, but something happened and it just really triggered me. And I went back to the doctor and said, you know, should I take more of it, or what do you think I should do? And he suggested that I start taking antidepressants. And for me, that was something that I really, really didn't want to do. I don't know. It's just that pressure that I put on myself again to be perfect. I think I was just like, I don't really feel like I'm there yet. But you know, he said, well, go and get the prescription, take them home, and then just see how you feel, and you know, he'll check in with me in a week or so. So I went to collect them. So he gave me sertraline, I think that's how you pronounce it. Never took them. I just didn't, it's not like I was stopping myself. I hope that, I like to think that I wasn't in denial. I just didn't feel like I was quite there. But it was nice having them on my bedside table, knowing that if I needed them, then I know how many I need to take, and that that's the right thing to do. But on the same conversation, my doctor actually gave me a referral to the Gloucestershire NHS Let's Talk service. And that was, I believe, mid-February, I think. And I've been put on a waiting list. So basically, they call you and you do this kind of like survey thing just to check that, you know, you don't need immediate attention and you're not a danger to yourself. And the result that came back was that I was suffering with severe anxiety and depression, which I wasn't really surprised about, to be honest with you. I mean, I was in a bit of a weird place in my mind. Yeah. So after my surgery got cancelled 4.5 weeks ago, I kind of went a bit, because I was really just quite fed up. And I think that also, like, especially the day before my surgery last time, I really started to let myself feel everything. So I really felt the weight of this illness, and I really kind of had quite a lot of time to reflect on the journey that I'd been down, and kind of like how it had made me feel, my mental health, like the kind of person that I'd become. And I really realised that I had kind of become a bit of a shell of the person that I used to be, I guess. But that was okay, because I knew that I was getting the tumour removed the day after. So I really let myself feel everything, and I was like, this, just feel it, just go with it, cry, be angry, you know, reflect and be proud of everything that you've been through, because it's okay, because you're having it removed tomorrow. So then when it got cancelled, all of that emotion and all of that stuff that I guess I'd like taken into a little box and locked up, which is a bit naughty anyway, it was open, and it was very much at the forefront of my mind. I really struggled with my anxiety kind of attacks. So what happens is I can feel it in my mind. It's like, obviously it's definitely psychological, but it's almost like, it's like you're looking down a corridor and there's like a door that's got a lock on it, and I can feel myself going towards it, and you're thinking, oh God, not today. And then obviously I'm walking towards it, and then I feel it unlock, and then you get the breathing. So with my breathing, I just kind of, I don't know, it starts here. So it's like, it feels like a tightness in my throat, and then it's like all the way down into my chest, and then on my lungs it's like I can't breathe. It's like I can't take a deep breath, and I have to kind of, I try not to think about it, but at the same time I have to think about it because I can't breathe, so it's really frustrating. But the more I think about it, the more I struggle to breathe, and it's not like I'm sat there panicking and being all like, ah, it's just literally I'm just sat and I'm trying to be really quiet and calm, and I'm just like, right, just take a deep breath in, and no, it doesn't quite go all the way down, and then you take another one and it doesn't hit the spot, and then all of a sudden, if you just kind of like leave it, or I've noticed that if I really try to open up my chest, you get this deep breath and you feel it like go down into your lungs and like almost like touch the base of your lungs, and it's just the best feeling ever. It's like, oh my God, yes, I've got a deep breath. And yeah, it's really satisfying when that happens. But then the extreme of it is that once I've had that deep breath, and the next breath I'll feel the tightness again, and I'm like, oh, here we go again, you know. But yeah, I guess it's kind of, it's, you know, it's difficult. Of us have had you know, struggles with our mental health at one time or another, and I guess I've always had this demon that I'm really, really scared of rejection. I really want to do right by everyone every day, all the time, and you know, it's kind of got to the point where I was kind of sacrificing myself and my happiness for others. And I think that is, having this illness has actually helped me to weigh up that it's really important that I take time for me, because I don't have the energy to worry about everybody else, because I'm already going through quite a lot. So I think that's everything. Thank you so much for watching. It has been, I didn't think I'd be so emotional. I found this vlog really difficult. I've been very, very cloudy, and I don't know what it is. I thought that I would like really easily be able to talk about my mental health. But yeah, it's been a heavy one, but I really hope that you know, it helps somebody, and it kind of gives you guys a better understanding of the mental effect that this cholesteatoma has on you, and it affects everyone in different ways. But for me, it's just been that kind of, the tinnitus has been the main thing that I felt really quite emotionally impacted by, and that's surprising, because I thought that it would be kind of my hearing, like my hearing loss, but the tinnitus has just been completely on another level, really. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I do really appreciate it. I think this one's been a bit of a long video. But yeah, hopefully worth it. So big love. I have my surgery tomorrow, which I'm really excited about. I'm going to go and pack my bag now and start to wind down and have a bit of a pamper, do a face mask and all those lovely things. But yeah, I'll check in on the next video. Take care. Big love.